Hello, welcome. I'm going to do a live really quick with my all-in-one compact makeup here. Talk a little bit about how easy it is to do this makeup, show you what's in this all-in-one compact if you've not seen it before, and just put some makeup on. So if you haven't met me before, my name's Karen from 50 is the New 50 blog, and I've been a Seint artist for almost, I think next month or so, for 3 years. So welcome, come on in. I'll save this too. If you have to take off and can't stay to the end when we answer questions and ask questions, I'll save this and you can always come back and watch it on the replay. So if you do have questions, just ask them. You can click the little question bubble or just put them in the comments. And before I jump off the live, I'll answer all your questions. So hello everybody, we're gonna do easy cream makeup. I'm gonna show you what's in my palette or compact. We call them palettes, but it's a magnetic compact. This one is a number 12, and what that means is that it holds 12 full-size tins of makeup. They're all cream, or a combination of full-size or half-size, which are the eyeshadows. So really, really fun. Magnetic, meaning it just all snaps in. So when you want to switch out colors or add, you just pop these out and pop one back in. I'm going to just use one makeup brush to do my face application, and then I'll do a quick eyeshadow, and I'll talk a little bit about how you can do your brows and everything that's in here. So let's get started. Okay, first things first, we're going to go ahead and use the 3D foundation, and I'm going to start with what I call my color corrector or concealer. You know, I also have a brightener / concealer, but this one here is more of a color corrector concealer, and you can tell that it's a little bit darker than the other shades I have. All of these shades that look like makeup or foundation shades, we call them highlights, okay? So instead of calling them foundation or concealer, it's called a highlight, and they can come in different shades, and when you get color matched, that is how you know which ones to get. So as an artist, I specialize in color matching women that look like me. I'm 55, and so I like to color match, or seem to have a lot of experience over the last 3 years, color matching gals that are over 40, over 50, 60, 70, 80. It's really fun. This is great makeup for all ages. What I'm doing right now is just applying, like I said, a little bit of my color corrector shade. I put some on my eyelids with my finger, and I'm just lightly blending that out. Because up on my eyelids here, I have a lot of melasma, so I had a sunspot. So you would want to kind of do the same thing, is when you get color matched by me, you'll get color matched to a color corrector shade that you may or may not need. You don't have to add it. You may find that your main shade covers just as well, and you don't have to get 3 highlight shades. I'm covering up kind of a little bit of purpley discoloration here. So I still have a little bit of redness and things like that, but my main shade will cover that. So your main highlight shades, your color corrector shades, and your brightener shades all have color correcting properties in them, which is so great. So you can avoid doing a lot of layering. So let's do contour. Contour is really fun, and I'm going to use this brush here. This is called the 3D brush. So I'm going to contour to shape my face. If you don't contour, you don't have to, but if you haven't tried it, give it a try. It's so fun. It's not scary. You can see that this looks like a really dark shade, but it's going to blend in seamlessly with the rest of my 3D foundation. And like I said, this is a contour. It's cream also. And I'm using this to frame my face up here on my forehead and kind of give little bit more of a definition to the center of my face here by adding a shadow up here on the top of my forehead. And I'm just brushing that up into the hairline. Another place I like to contour, and you may as well, is underneath your cheekbones to define that. You can use the same brush just to make it easier. Give it a little pinch. If you pinch it and tap it in, and then since I have color corrector under there, I'm just tapping and pressing right underneath my cheekbone, right there, just like that. So kind of start on the outside of your ear and stop about the outside of your eye. So if you're just now joining me, we're doing cream makeup. It's all in one compact, and I'm just demoing right now how to contour. We're going to use just one brush for our face, and so we put it up on our forehead, underneath our cheekbones. Another great place to add contour, just dip back in, is right underneath your jawline to define right along here. See how that adds a shadow? And then just pull that down and back on your neck and back. I like to stop about right here where I kind of already have a natural indentation. But this really helps define, again, your jaw from your neck and gives you a little bit more of a framing to your face. Okay, and that's it. So we've got our contour on. See, not scary, not hard to do at all. Pull some down your neck. I don't even have to clean this brush off. I'm gonna tap right in now to my main highlight shade, just tapping. And I'm gonna bring up here and start applying this. This would kind of be the color that would be closest to your main foundation shade. And since I have mature skin, I like to tap or press this makeup on. I feel that really gets it on your skin, and you avoid looking too textury. You avoid having too much makeup on because you can see exactly what you're doing as you go. So I'm just tapping and pressing. So tap, tap again. You can see I'm not using very much. I hope you can see that. It is highly pigmented, so I'm not swiping. I'm just actually tapping it. I'm picking up just a little bit and then tap. Can you see that there? And then tapping it on to my skin. And as I'm tapping or stippling, you may call it, over, it's actually blending it a little bit at the same time, which I like to do because in that way, I can take a minute, look at my face, and I feel like I don't over apply. That's probably the biggest troubleshooting tip if you're new to this makeup, is remembering that just a little bit goes a long way. I always forget to do my temples right here, and I have a redness. A little bit of this makeup goes a long way, so less is more. It's buildable. We really don't want it to feel heavy. You definitely should not be feeling sticky, and you shouldn't be seeing texture, okay? So we're gonna finish blending that out here in just a second. But I want to show you how the third highlight I have can add some brightness to the center of your face. And you don't need a third highlight, but how amazing would it be for you to have 3 different highlight or foundation shades inside a little palette like this. So you don't have to carry around when you're traveling, you know, bottles of makeup, liquid makeup, powders, blushes. You don't have to have even a makeup bag. It's all in one compact. So it's pretty clever, I think. It's pretty genius. All right, so let's go ahead and grab this side of this brush. Again, we're using the same brush, and I'm just gonna lightly tap. Just see that small amount? That's how pigmented this makeup is. It's gonna last you for a long time. If you are going through this makeup like within a couple weeks, you may be using too much, or you just love it and you're wearing it like 24/7, 7 days a week. But you shouldn't be going through the makeup quickly because it's so pigmented. That's how little you use. So it's just a small tap. I'm gonna put some up here in the center of my, whoops, that was too much. See, up here in the center of my forehead, again, adding that brightness. We'll take our finger and I can just put a little bit down the bridge of my nose. That adds brightness to this part of your face. So here we are kind of adding some brightness. Let me just get it on there so you can see it a little bit better to this area of my face. You can put some above your lip, on your chin. You can even put some up here above your contour. Some gals put it right here. As a mature lady, I try to avoid adding anything too light because I don't want to add texture or emphasize my texture that I already have, my gorgeous little laugh lines. But I can put a little bit here, like this, and even here, just to kind of create, look at that, just to kind of create a little bit of a lift. But I don't need to put it right next to my eye, and I'm definitely not putting it right underneath my eye because, again, I just got done color correcting and adding, you know, some color under there to soften any discoloration I had. And the last thing I want to do is emphasize that, okay? So what we can do at this point is go back to this side of the brush, and we can just do a little bit more blending. Just tap, tap, tap. Blending. Now I haven't added makeup to this brush at this point. I'm just using this fluffy end here to blend in that brightener I put on, okay? Let's make sure. Let me take a peek in my mirror here. Boop, boop, boop. Just tap, tap, tap. That's all I'm doing. I feel like it's tap, 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 tap. I think that's the hardest part of this makeup. You get a little arm workout, but it's so soft, and they're all double-sided brushes, which makes it so great and easy to use. Okay, so we have done, just as a recap, we've done contour. And again, it's not over the top. It's pretty subtle, but it framed my face. We did a little bit of color corrector with this highlight shade, my main highlight shade, and a little brightener, or you could call this your concealer shade. I didn't put it right underneath my eyes, but I added it here, 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 and here to add some brightness. I love to also, when I'm all done, take a perfector sponge. This has been prepped, so it's just lightly damp. And I'm just gonna take and just do one more pressing, tapping, pressing lightly, making sure that, again, I don't have too much makeup anywhere. It doesn't look heavy, it doesn't look creasy. It shouldn't, okay? So if you need help getting color matched, let me know, because that is where you wanna start. That is the key to this makeup, is getting yourself a true color match with an artist like myself. So we just did the 1, 2, 3, 4 things. Now we have lip and cheek. Again, all in this one compact. This is a couple really pretty shades. This is a peachy shade. This is more of a matte. So you can see that the matte shades are like a set. This is called a satin shade, and it's more of a matte. This is called Frenchie. It's a really pretty peach. And I can just apply it with my finger and then take that brush and just tap over again to blend that, really subtle. I can take the brush and apply it, so I can, if I want, and I love color on my cheeks. I feel like I go over the top with the color. So I'm gonna start with a little bit, but then I'll probably just keep adding a bit more, because I really think that when you add color to your cheeks, it just really makes you look so fresh. Look at that, so youthful. Or you know what? I don't even care about you looking youthful. I just want to look fresh, and I want to look glowy, and I want to have some color on my face. That's what I care about. So just tap away a little bit where I got too high. So that's a really pretty color. You can use this matte on your lips as well. This is satin, not matte, but it looks matte. And this one's called Frenchie. So let me show you. But what I like to do is I like to mix them. So this one's called Sunshine State. It is almost like a little shimmery fuchsia with gold in it. So it's really fun to layer these over the top. Let me see how pretty that is. So that adds just a little shimmer, a little bit. You can even mix your cheek colors together. So I put the satin Frenchie along here. And if I wanted to add just a little pop of shimmer, I can take the Sunshine State Glossy. And they're lip and cheek. Yeah, they're lip and cheek. So that means you can use them on your lips and your cheeks. Hey, Laura. So at the end here, I'm going to answer any questions that you have. So we'll have a little Q&A session, oops, at the end. So make sure that you comment any questions you have, or hit the question button. And for those of you who have to take off or want to catch this later, I'll have it on the replay so you can watch it later. All right, so we just did really pretty colors, all in one compact. I know a lot of gals like to know what colors I'm using. So I use, this is Astoria. This is my contour that I contoured and framed my face. This is Mango. I used it as a color corrector. This is Sandy that I used as my main shade. And this is Sunlit that I used as a brightener shade. So 3 highlight shades. All 3 are highlights. They're not necessarily, I wouldn't say, you know, which one's my foundation? All 3 are your foundation, meaning 3 of them together with your contour creates your 3D foundation. Hi, thank you. Okay, it is easy. And then 2 lip and cheeks. Why not? One's a satin shade. This is Frenchie. And one is a glossy shade. This is our June limited edition. It's called Sunshine State. Okay, so that was 1 layer. 1 brush. Little sponge to tap it in, okay? So at this point, we can set our makeup. You can set your makeup a couple different ways. You can set it with setting spray. You can, if you want more of a matte look, you can do a little bit of setting spray and then add some translucent setting powder in areas where you need a little extra. So just take your setting spray and shake it up really well. This is our setting spray. It has more of a dewy finish, really moisturizing, really beautiful finish, and it'll help hold that cream makeup that's sitting on top of your skin. So I'm just gonna hold it back here. Hold on. I gotta close my mouth and I can't talk. And I gotta close my eyes. There we go. So I just spritzed it all over. You can kind of see it looks a little wet. We'll let that dry. So I already put some mascara on. whatever. I always put mascara on first and I let that really dry. And then I put on some of my eyebrows. So let's talk about what you can put in the next section of your palette, your all-in-one palette. You can put bronzer. You can get another contour. This is a darker contour shade that I love to do my brows with. You can put setting powder in there. Illuminator, I'll show you what these look like. You can put eyeshadows in here. We actually have gorgeous eyeshadows. So again, all in one. All right, so we just did our face. Let me tell you about my brows. So to do my brows, I use a brush like this. This is called the line brush, and it has a little angle and a spoolie. Now I can use, sometimes I'll use my main contour shade, which is called Astoria, to fill in my brows. But since I got my hair colored recently, I'm using a much darker shade, which I kind of like the pop. It makes your eyes really pop. If you're not filling in your brows, make sure you do that. Don't be afraid of going a little bit darker because it just really makes your eyes stand out when you do that. So I just use this line brush here and I dip it into my contour. Okay, a couple. And then I'll just go in and start flicking, lining, and filling it in with the contour. Then you can just take your spoolie and lightly brush them. For a little extra, because we're extra, we can be extra in our 50s and our 60s, and we can be as extra as we want. I use a little bit of our brow wax. So it looks like nothing's in there, right? So it's a hard wax, and when you go to use it, squirt a little bit of warm water or your setting spray right on top, and then take the spoolie end, and you just start coating. It'll kind of start to soften up to a more of a wax over the brush. And then you can just take that brush and comb them right through your brows. And you can even press on them if you want them to look a little bit more like a soap brow. Right, how easy. And that'll help set your brows for the whole day. So brow wax, awesome. It's also magnetic, meaning if you wanted to pop this in instead of one of these other ones, you can have your brow wax right inside your compact as well. So cool, easy. All right, mascara, I had already put some on. I usually put my mascara on first. Why? Because I'm addicted to mascara. Two, I feel like if I put it on first, this happens to be the Too Faced brand, Better Than Sex Too Faced. If I put it on first and I let it dry, it seems to just hold better. I don't know. Maybe I'm dreaming, but I just feel like it does. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna put a little bit of eyeshadow primer on. So this is Urban Decay. This is the eyeshadow primer potion, just in, I think it's original, just original. Comes with a little wand. If you want information on this, just let me know. I'm just gonna tap a bit of this on my eyelids. I used to never use an eyeshadow primer specifically. So sometimes when I don't want to use an eyeshadow primer, I will just put one of my highlight shades on my eyelids, and then I'll take my setting powder and I'll just use a little eyeshadow brush and I'll tap it over. So it's the same concept, but lately, because we all like to play with new things, I've been testing out this primer, and I think it's really, really fun. And I think it really makes your eyeshadow, if you have trouble with your eyeshadow creasing, or if you have really oily eyelids and you have troubles with that, then get yourself some, message me and I'll send you the link. Get yourself, so I'll show, this is a great one, I think. The other option, and even you can do this as well, is to take a little bit of your translucent setting powder and just lightly tap over it. So even if you need a little extra, because you're extra, and that's okay, just tap a little bit of powder over that as well. Super easy. So I've got some pretty eyeshadows in here. All of our eyeshadows are really pigmented, just like the makeup. And these are some fun colors for summer. I'm totally into the peach and the pinks lately. So I'm just gonna pick up, I think this color here's a peachy color called Valencia. I'm just gonna pick that up with my brush and tap off. And I'm gonna just put a little bit of that kind of in the crease and up on my brow bone. Just taking it, this is called the eyeshadow brush. I love this brush. If you have a brush like this that fans out, an eyeshadow brush like this, let that brush work. Let it do its job, which is this, letting the fluffy end of it just really disperse and soften and move that eyeshadow makeup. So we just put a little bit of that up in the crease. So they're so pigmented. So I swirl in and then I tap off any excess. And so we're just putting some of this in the outer corner, on the crease, up on the brow bone. A little bit of this color. It's called Valencia. It's a really pretty kind of, well, like a Valencia orange, really pretty peachy color. And then I'm just going to dip into this color. This is called Cupcake. It's one of my favorite neutrals. And tap off. And then I'm just going to tap that right in the center of my lid and kind of towards the center of my eye, just to make my eye look a little bit more open. So just a very soft, and then use your brush again to kind of blend it together. You can even put some of that up here. Just a very soft eyeshadow look. Sometimes what I'll do after I put my eyeshadow on is then go in with that a little second coat of my mascara, just to pop those lashes and brighten that up. And I feel like if I had any fallout at all that got into my lashes, it kind of wipes it off. So just a really simple eyeshadow. Just a couple different colors, boom, boom. Let's put on some illuminator. So illuminators are what you might call highlights. Okay, we got to confuse you, right? This is a cream illuminator. Can you see that on there? And you can add this on the high part of your cheekbones if you want to add some extra shimmer. I like to add the illuminator, like if you are somebody that likes more of a matte, a little bit more of a matte look, or if you are, I'm going to put some up here, need to add some translucent setting powder over your T-zone or even in this area, then going back in with a little bit of illuminator will bring even more of that glow back that we just love about this makeup. So I'll just put a little bit down my nose, put some up here, high part of my brow, just areas where you just want to have a little extra shimmer. You can put that on. You can even put them on your lips. So versatile, versatile. And finally, let's add a little bronzer. Let's, it's summer. Let's warm up with a little bit of bronzer. Again, I said I would just use one brush, so I'm going to go back to this brush, the fluffy end. I'm going to lightly tap it into that bronzer. And I'm just going to lightly blend. The Bella bronzer, I think, is such a great color. It's so pretty. It's this golden, you see how dark it looks? But it's such a pretty golden color. It doesn't look orange. I think everybody can pretty much wear this color, even if you're really, really fair, because it's almost a translucent color. It adds warmth and color, but see how that just made this part of my face pop even more? We can take a little bit and you can put some along your jawline here, wherever the sun would hit. Put some down your neck. That's probably my favorite place to add a little bronzer, is down the neck, on your chest, especially if you are kind of not matching, like your neck and your chest aren't matching. Get Bella bronzer. That really helps to connect. And I can even just tap a little bit in, and I can just tap just a little bit right across. I'm just tapping the lightest amount. Just a little sun-kissed glow across my nose and right here. And I'm just lightly tapping that on, just a little bit of color. Mostly up here, I like it, and down here along your temples to add some color. So easy, 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 all in one. It's so easy to travel with. My sister is a corporate flight attendant out of Kansas City, and she loves throwing this in her flight bag because, again, it's just easy. She just everything she needs is here. They don't have much room to travel with. Same thing for you when you travel. You don't have to check this through, you don't have to take it out and put it in a plastic bag. You don't, because there's no liquid. Throw a couple of your brushes in there. Your mascara doesn't have to go in there. Your setting spray, I think it's still travel approved because it's a small enough amount, so you don't have to check it, but you want to put it in the little bag. But other than that, how easy is this to travel with, right? So if you haven't been color matched yet, please reach out to me. You can message me. Thank you. Thank you so much. And if you have questions, now's the time. We're going to do a little Q&A.